Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is Friday, February 7th, 2020. As the coronavirus continues to spread, the United States government is working to protect Americans, and one New Jersey military base is included in the plan. Rihanna has that report.
The outbreak of the novel coronavirus has the whole world on high alert, setting up precautions to avoid further spreading of the illness. In the U.S., 11 major airports, including Newark Liberty International Airport, are closely screening arriving individuals, especially from China. The Joint Base McGuire-Dix-Lakehurst was added to the list of military bases that will be able to host people who need to be quarantined if local healthcare facilities cannot accommodate them. The Department of Defense stated that up to 20 people can be housed in military bases as they undergo quarantine observation. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says that they will be responsible for all care, transportation, and security of the evacuees, and will continue the efforts to contain the illness that has infected more than 28,000 people and killed more than 560.
The weather continues to challenge us, and even though we have avoided snow, we may be subject to very strong gusts of wind today. Eli has the details.
The National Weather Service has issued a wind advisory for most of New Jersey, where strong winds could be as high as 50 miles per hour today. As a result, the agency has issued a high wind warning for multiple New Jersey counties, effective from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. The rainfall totals to be an average amount of 6.5 inches, and gusty winds could blow around unsecured objects, states the advisory. The tree limbs could be blown down and a few power outages may result. Yesterday was urged people to have extra caution while driving, especially those with a high-profile vehicle. Drivers should watch out for flooding on the streets with bad drainage or in low-lying coastal areas, and smaller creeks and streams can flood through Thursday night through Friday night.
And now it's time for announcements. Chess Club, meeting after school in room 116 today. Club picture will be taken as well. Cancer Research Team, meet after school in room 116 on Friday today. Club pictures to be taken. Ecology Club, don't be late or you'll miss the picture. Meeting today after school at 2:45 until 3:15 in room 110. Art Club and National Art Honor Society will be meeting Fridays after school in room 102 during the school year. We are working on projects and sometimes exploring new media. Join us. Also, Art Club and the NAHS are collecting real or made-up recipes connecting to community, culture, or connections. These can be any size, handwritten and decorated, and will be sent to a program associated with the Bezos Family Foundation. For every recipe submitted, $3 will be donated to organizations providing food to undernourished people around the world. Please help. See Ms. Scutro for further information and supplies. Breakfast Program. Start your day the right way. Our school offers a breakfast program available in the cafeteria starting at 7:10 a.m. Full price is $1.85 and reduced is 30 cents. Breakfast has many benefits for our students. Take advantage of our breakfast program. Class of 2021. Give your input about this year's Class of 2021 field trip. Please check your email to get the link. Red Bull versus Atlanta on Saturday, May 16th at 1 p.m. We will depart from the high school at 11 a.m. We need a minimum of 25 participants to run the trip and need a commitment so we do not lose our deposit. The cost is $25 per person. If you have any questions, please see Ms. Hernandez or Ms. Kowalski. We will be selling carnations for Valentine's Day during lunches the week of Valentine's Day. Show someone you care and send them a red or hot pink carnation. Carnations will be delivered during Homeroom Friday, February 14th. Pre-order your carnation for $2 during lunch. Thank you for supporting the Class of 2021. Class of 2022 will be selling chocolate and non-chocolate goodie bags during lunches that will be handed out at the end of the day on Friday for Valentine's Day. Buy one for yourself or another. Art Club Bake Sale Monday. On the half-day Monday, come support the Art Club and get some goodies. Today at 5:30 p.m., the girls' JV basketball team will verse Booten in the high school gym. At 7 p.m., the varsity girls' basketball team will verse Booten here in the gym. At 7 p.m., there will be a boys' varsity wrestling match for Saddlebrook at Saddlebrook High School. In recognition of Black History Month, we have an amazing story of teenagers who bravely took center stage in the fight for civil rights. Rihanna has that story.
The Little Rock Nine, as they later came to be called, were the first black teenagers to attend all-white Central High School in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1957. This was a transitional time for all of America as attitudes toward minority groups were changing. These remarkable young African American students challenged segregation in the Deep South and won. The Little Rock Nine were determined to attend the school and receive the same education to white students. Things grew ugly and frightening right away. On the first day of school, the governor of Arkansas ordered the state's National Guard to block the black students from entering the school. Imagine what it must have been like to be a student confronted by armed soldiers. President Eisenhower had to send in federal troops to protect the students.
Stay tuned, we will be right back. for watching RPtv. Have a great day and stay tuned for CNN 10.
Hi, I'm Carl. This is CNN, and Fridays are. But we're not giving you the silent treatment. We've got a lot to talk about today, starting with a story concerning the Olympics. The Summer Games are in Japan this year. Opening ceremonies are set for Friday, July 24th, and the Paralympics will follow on August 25th. But a member of the Tokyo Organizing Committee says he's worried that the Games could be impacted by the Wuhan coronavirus, which has spread from China to 25 other countries, including Japan. There were some rumors floating around online that the Tokyo Games would be canceled because of the virus. That's fake news. Those rumors are not true. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe says the Games will go on as planned and that Japan would take, quote, appropriate measures to make sure planning for the Games isn't affected by the virus. While the country is hoping that the Olympics will bring more tourists to Japan throughout the year, it's having to balance that with efforts to keep the disease from spreading. This week, a cruise ship was quarantined off the coast of Yokohama, not far from Tokyo, because an infected passenger had spent a few days aboard it. Of the 3,700 others on the Princess Cruises Diamond Princess, at least 20 have been confirmed to have caught the Wuhan coronavirus. And now, the rest of the passengers and crew are all being held on the ship in quarantine for at least 2 weeks. Part of the reason for this is because scientists don't know exactly how the coronavirus spreads or how infectious it is. For instance, let's say someone is carrying the virus but doesn't know it because he has no symptoms. Could he still spread it to someone else? Researchers don't know yet. What is known is that the Wuhan coronavirus has infected more than 28,000 people since mid-December and killed more than 560 of them. The vast majority of the patients are in China.
14 days in, and we were headed out.
Checking out after 2 weeks of quarantine, the whole team feeling good, continuing on.
How the three of us, CNN photojournalist Natalie Thomas, producer Yong Sheng, and I ended up here is because of where we were 2 weeks earlier, a far more stressful hotel checkout. This was our 3:30 a.m. scramble to the train station. We'd planned for a few days in Wuhan, but 29 hours in, the phone rang, the city was going on lockdown, and we needed to get out. In the moment, we really could not imagine how big this would get. Millions under lockdown restrictions, rapidly rising death tolls, tens of thousands infected, and mainland China essentially isolated from the rest of the world. And we were at the epicenter. CNN decided we should return to Beijing and immediately limit our exposure to others. But we still wanted to tell the story, and we had 350 square feet to do it.
So not a bad commute from my bedroom to the living room, or our studios essentially. Can even do it in slippers. This is the backdrop that we've got over here. Snowing today. We, in between live reports, have been doing a lot of research. Yang, our producer, been on the phone a lot, working his sources in Wuhan and Hubei province in particular in between some of our reports. Natalie, behind the camera there, doing the same.
When we weren't on air, we were consumed with getting the story right.
Sure, mic check 1, 2, 3.
But truthfully, we were still feeling a bit guilty that we walked away from the people of Wuhan. It especially weighed on Yang and Natalie. Yang being Chinese and Natalie having called this country home for nearly a decade. For them, it was personal. So we worked all hours, either video chatting or calling dozens of people still in Wuhan. Yang focusing his efforts on a doctor who tried to sound the alarm early on. Natalie learning from healthcare workers about the dire need for supplies.
The big decision.
Our meals, room service. But just to be safe, for the entire stay, we didn't let hotel staff come into our rooms. And, well, they seemed good with that. As soon as they knocked, we opened, and they bolted down the hall. Even with just a few hours of sleep each night, we were fueled by adrenaline to keep on. To be honest, Natalie and Yang motivated me. Until our time was up. Day 14.
All right, everything back to the way it was, and we now head out into snowy Beijing, but masks on this time.
Stepping out into the frigid Beijing air, hopping in the car, and continuing our pursuit of this story.
10-second trivia. Which of these astronauts holds the U.S. record for spending the most total time in space? Scott Kelly, Peggy Whitson, Neil Armstrong, or Sally Ride? Scott Kelly had the longest single space flight, but Peggy Whitson has logged the most total time in space. That total time being 665 days. Peggy Whitson held another record as well, the longest single space flight for a woman at 289 days. But that record was just broken. Astronaut Christina Cook recently returned to Earth from a mission that lasted 328 days. That's just 12 days short of Scott Kelly's single spaceflight record. During Cook's time on the International Space Station, NASA says she circled the Earth more than 5,200 times, traveled 139 million miles, carried out 6 spacewalks, and that included the historic one she conducted with fellow astronaut Jessica Meir in October. The two of them completed the first all-female spacewalk. Before Cook got back on terra firma, she spoke to CNN's Christy Paul about her accomplishments. And one interesting thing the astronaut said about her record is that she doesn't want to keep it.
How are you feeling knowing that you are going to be you're going to break the record for the woman who has spent the most time in space thus far?
Well, having the opportunity to do that and to be up here for so long is truly an honor. And Peggy in particular is one of my heroines, and she's been a mentor to me. So it's a great reminder to try to make her proud, and then also to do mentorship when I get home to sort of pay that back. I hope that breaking the record is both, good for outreach and also inspiration. Outreach because it kind of gets the conversation going about state of the art, where we are in human exploration, and inspiring because I think kind of as a milestone it can motivate people. I know for me personally it motivates me every single day, on those rough days, remembering that this might be hard because it hasn't been done before, and I do have to bring my best to every single day. And on that point, I like to think of the record as, it's not so much how many days you're up here, but what you bring to each day. So another great reminder to just bring your best. It's a wonderful thing for science. We see another aspect of how the human body is affected by microgravity for the long term, and that's really important for our future spaceflight plans going forward to the moon and to Mars. Overall, though, I have to say that my biggest hope for the record is that it's exceeded as soon as possible again, and that's because it just would mean we're continuing to push those boundaries.
Floating in space, anything cool that you can show us? Oh my goodness.
Well, I did think about conducting the entire interview upside down, but I thought that could be a little bit confusing.
Well, astronaut Christina Cook, thank you so much for taking time for us, and congratulations.
The Fox and the Hound, Milo and Otis, Oliver and Company, good things can happen when animals team up. So today we present the coyote and the badger. This is real, though unusual footage captured near a pipe in California. We don't know where they've been, where they're going, or how on earth they became apparent companions. But animal experts say it's likely they were going to hunt together and that they'd be good at it. Because when it comes to whatever they're hunting, one could badger it inside its den while the other could bark it up. One could dig it while the other could dog it. One could give it the yips while the other could pelt it, and one could weasel its way in while the other could wolf it on its way out. So whatever they're after, better pray. Anderson High School in Anderson, Indiana, we're saluting the Indians today. Thanks for subscribing and commenting on our official YouTube channel. For CNN 10, I'm Carl Azus.